Yeah, Montana is beautiful. But lately, it feels like you're living inside a postcard that only a millionaire can afford to mail. The cost of living has gone nuts, and finding a place to live can feel impossible unless you've got deep pockets. But what if I told you the real Montana still exists? I'm talking about towns where the vibe is good, the scenery is epic, and your paycheck actually goes somewhere. These are the spots that deliver that genuine Montana vibe without the crazy price tag. I'm counting down the 10 most affordable places in Big Sky country. I'll cover what you need to know, the real cost of living, like current home prices and rent ranges, like the vibe, the good, the bad. And there's no sales tax in Montana. Let's get into it in more details. Starting with the historic valley town, Deer Lodge. If you're looking for the absolute cheapest entry point into western Montana's breathtaking mountain scenery, Deer Lodge is the place to consider. It's cute, but it's small and right in the middle of major hubs, just a half-hour drive to Butte, roughly an hour to both Helena and Missoula, and about 90 minutes to Bozeman. That makes it a practical, low-cost bedroom community for commuters. According to Best Places' cost of living score is 84, and a family of 4 need at least $3,900 a month, making it 27% less expensive than the national average. The median home price sits at $273,000 to $457,000. I know it's on the expensive side, but I got 9 more places. Though average rent is around $840 to $1,450, and median household income of $50,000 to $53,000, though Deer Lodge is small and its amenities are limited, there are signs of growth. Upscale condos are always under construction. This modest town is best known for its expansive Old Montana Prison and Auto Museum complex. For the outdoors, there are plenty of walking trails, a disc golf course, and expansive public lands ideal for hiking and camping. But keep 2 major cons in mind. First, the entire valley is designated a Superfund site because of legacy smelter contamination, and a long-term topsoil replacement program is still underway. Second, the local job market is minimal, with few openings. The biggest employers are the newly built state prison and various municipal services. If you're not used to living rurally, it's going to be a huge adjustment. Moving to next one, the heart of Montana. It's the geographical center of the state, Lewistown. It's a classic Montana community with unrivaled access to unspoiled, uncrowded outdoors. The town is known for its genuine ranching heritage and distinctive setting, encircled by 5 island mountain ranges that tower up from the prairie, providing 360 panoramas. The pace is, well, it's seasonal. It's the slow, deliberate pace of a rancher fixing a fence line. People work hard, they look out for each other, and they value self-reliance. Based on ERI, cost of living is 7% less expensive than the national average, and Area Vibe's cost of living index is 85 compared to the national average of 100. Many families and retirees live here, around Main Street. You'll find beautiful older homes here. Big Victorians, classic craftsman houses, right up to Big Spring Creek is the dream for a lot of folks. You can literally fish from your backyard. The median home value is $275,000 to $395,000. And a 1 or 2 bedroom rental generally runs between $900 to $1,200, but can reach up to $1,600 for bigger homes. On the edges of town, you'll see newer construction, and the median household earnings are about $44,000. The biggest thing is isolation. You're in the middle of Montana, which means you're in the middle of nowhere. The closest big cities are Billings or Great Falls, and they're both a solid 2-hour drive. It's for the family that wants a safe community. It's for the remote worker who wants $1 million view for a fraction of the price. It's for those who can tolerate snowy, windy winters and don't rely on a wide-ranging job market. But Lewistown is an outdoor haven. Big Spring Creek is right in town. Ackley Lake State Park is just a drive away, and the Judith and Big Snowy Mountains afford limitless chances for hiking, hunting, and residence. If you need a Trader Joe's within a 10-minute drive, this ain't your place. Up next, we have the Smelter City, Anaconda. Not the snake, it's a place. Just a half-hour drive west of Butte, tucked into the breathtaking Anaconda-Pintler Wilderness. First off, you can't talk about Anaconda without talking about the stack, the old smelter stack. It's 585 feet tall, taller than the Washington Monument, and it watches over this valley like a ghost. It's an incredibly small town, but it has a lot of heart. The vibe here is tough, proud, and deeply Irish. This town was built by immigrants who came to do hard, dangerous work. According to Best Places' cost of living score is 76.6, but Area Vibe's cost of living index is 96 out of 100. The median home price is unusually from $285,000 to $367,000, supported by a median household income of roughly $50,000, and rent is very affordable, typically $800 to $1,250. However, there are several challenges. First, finding a rental is extremely difficult, especially with pets. And while Butte offers more options, they come at a higher price and require a commute. And the city lies within one of the nation's largest EPA Superfund sites due to historic smelting, which heavily impacts the housing market. This creates a tough housing landscape. While homes for sale are cheap, many are fixer-uppers in poor condition. The local job market is also very limited, with most residents commuting to Butte for work and major shopping. Winters are intense, with temperatures often dropping to 10 degrees below zero, and sometimes reaching 40 degrees below. The biggest pro is outdoors. The town sits on the edge of Georgetown Lake for boating and the Discovery ski area for winter sports, with world-class fishing on the Big Hole River nearby. And you gotta talk about the golf course. The Old Works is a Jack Nicklaus signature course built right on top of the old smelter site. Next one is a pretty small town of less than 4,500 people, Glendive. On Montana's eastern edge, tucked along the banks of the Yellowstone River, sits Glendive, the gateway to the Badlands. Glendive is actually really pretty compared to the rest of eastern Montana. Its very character is tied to the nearby state's largest Makoshika State Park, literally the town's backyard. According to the Best Places cost of living index is 79.7, and based on ERI, the cost of living is 15% less expensive than the national average and 11% less expensive than the state average. The median household income is unexpectedly high at $71,000, while the median home price ranks among the lowest in the state at roughly $247,000, but bigger homes can reach up to $500,000 range. Renting is a genuine bargain, with a one-bedroom often listed for under $700. Life in Glendive feels like two worlds colliding. For the outdoors, it's a paradise. The Yellowstone River offers water sport opportunities, and the sweeping, rugged scenery of Makoshika serves as a backyard for hiking. Yet the town itself shows signs of wear, with limited entertainment beyond a few coffee shops and gritty bars. Despite the low housing costs, residents say groceries run pricey and the restaurant scene is thin. Even basic fast food chains struggle to stay open. The local economy is narrow, anchored to the railroad, agriculture, and some oil and gas activity, and it's in extreme remoteness. Billings is nearly 3 hours away. Still, Glendive offers a financially compelling chance to live beside one of America's most distinctive landscapes. Overall, people are friendly. They just keep you at a distance. It's not a bad town, there's just not a lot to do there, unless you really like hiking. At number 6, it's Havre. Located along the shores of the Milk River, all the way up north along Montana's High Line. Known for its history with the railroad, and its peculiar Havre Beneath the Streets tours. The town's culture is quiet and simple. It's very low-key, and the people are nice, but they are self-sufficient. It's very rural, and it's not in the mountainous part of the state. The landscape is one of stark contrasts, where the rolling dry prairie of the countryside meets. Based on the Economic Research Institute, the cost of living is 11% less expensive than the national average and 7% less expensive than Montana. And according to Best Places, it's quite affordable. The overall cost of living index here is around 89.7. The average home value is $230,000 to $260,000. Households on average make $63,000, and one-bedroom rent is $800. For people coming from the East Coast, the culture shock can be a bit more than what they bargained for. The job market is rather slim pickings, as it centers on the railroad, a few farms, and the local hospital or university. The winters are cold, frequently dipping minus 40 degrees, while the summers seem almost terrifying, dry heat consistently reaching 110 degrees. There's a huge amount of AUD in depression and a ridiculously high unalive rate.
can't say it's surprising, though. There's nothing to do. The most extreme is the almost total isolation, the nearest major city, Great Falls, being an excruciating 2-hour drive. Like any town or city, it has ups and downs.
Next one is, in rural Montana, where the Yellowstone and Tongue Rivers meet, rests the true cowboy town, Miles City. It got its nickname, the Cow Capital, thanks to the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale, a rodeo that takes place every year and attracts visitors from around the globe. Miles City is great. Lots of big open country, like a scene from an Old West. The city is surrounded by a rugged and independent community, with everything from grocery stores, Jersey Mike's, Walmart, to a Tesco pharmacy and a fully functional hospital. Economic Research Institute. Cost of living is 10% less expensive than the national average and 6% less expensive than the state, and Miles gets a Best Places cost of living score of 81.5. The housing prices are a steal compared to the median household income of $60,000. The median home price from the high 200s to around $300,000. The one-bedroom rent is fairly cheap and goes for $750 to $1,150. The town is not without its drawbacks. At times, it does feel a bit beat up, and for a town on the flat prairie, its proximity to the two rivers creates a significant flood risk, with large portions of the area lying within the floodplain, with nearly 3/4 of the city designated as a high-risk flood zone by FEMA. The area also has a limited local economy on ranching, farming, and some local services. The Bakken oil field also does provide some new opportunities for jobs. The town does not have a public bus service, relies on cars, and has extreme hot and cold weather, but the town does have the authentic cowboy feel, with people wearing cowboy hats, boots, and Wranglers. To the south lies the vast Custer National Forest, and 2 hours to the west is the major city of Billings. Overall, it's not bad, just kinda run down for the most part, but there has been some growth recently and some new housing and stores are being built. In southwestern Montana, there is a very special city, Butte, known as the richest hill on earth because of how floors of copper used to be mined here. Super unique, historic area with rough and tough character. Butte is a good town, but unlike other Montana towns, its Superfund sites are very visible and bigger. It does not follow the trend of urban renewal and has many buildings from the turn of the century, most of which can be found in the uptown. Butte truly is a living museum, with a lot of historic buildings and massive mining headframes. This city is set against a mountain backdrop, which adds to the beauty of the city. Butte's an interesting town, but it's hard to tell you what it's like for jobs without knowing what you do. It has a gorgeous bus system within the town, and is only 30 minutes away from the stunning Georgetown Lake. Stunningly beautiful in so many places above Park Street, especially closer to the college. Depending on where you're from, living here is pretty affordable. Economic Research Institute says it's 8% less expensive than the national average, and Best Places' overall cost of living index in Butte Silver Bow is 81.6, which is 19% lower than the U.S. The median home price is $275,000 to $340,000, while the average family income is $69,000. The rent for a one-bedroom is $850 to $1,400 and $1,735 for a two-bedroom apartment. In terms of the best place to shop, it is Walmart, but there is also a new shopping center being built. The city still has some legacy issues of pollution mining. It is considered a Superfund site, and it has gone through a lot of cleanup, but still worries some newcomers. The nearby cities like Missoula and Bozeman are also about an hour-and-a-half drive. Butte is a town of extremes, where the good and the bad and the worst and the best have gone to their eternal rest. Up next, we have the Queen City of the Rockies, Helena. In the middle of the valley, surrounded by the mountains of the Continental Divide, it may turn out to be a bit more small town than what you have in mind. It's the capital, but it's small, even for Montana. It's also quiet, not much going on. It's relatively safe, decent place to raise kids. The city has a genuinely alive and thriving downtown, impressive architecture, and a positive civic pride. According to the Economic Research Institute, the cost of living is 3% higher than the national average, but there are many jobs in Helena that pay in the $80,000 to $100,000 range, indicating a recent median household income of approximately $72,000. Housing is hard to find. Median home price is from mid-400s to $550,000. The average rent is around $1,500 to $1,700 per month. Although Helena is nice, it does have some downsides. Helena has not much to do here. It's pretty boring, and it's very political. While the old mall has been redeveloped, the city still contends with the familiar suburban sprawl of banks, gas stations, and casinos. There is a little more shopping and a few more restaurants, but still nothing major. However, the true appeal lies in the unparalleled access to the outdoors. Got lakes, rivers, mountains. It's quite possibly the best in the state in terms of immediate trail access. There's miles of incredible single-track trails for running and mountain biking that literally funnel right into town. Glacier and Yellowstone National Parks, various mountain ranges and rivers, are about 2 to 3 hours drives away, along with Blue Ribbon, Missouri trout fishing as well. All other major cities in Montana are also about 1.5 hour drives away. Next one is the Electric City on the banks of the Missouri River, Great Falls, nicknamed the Electric City from the numerous hydroelectric dams on the river, as well as the military installation, the Malmstrom Air Force Base. Giving it somewhat of a military vibe, it has many stores compared to rural life. The city is extremely car-dominant, but is still able to provide a steady job market due to the Air Force Base and well-developed healthcare system. Reasonable cost of living. Economic Research Institute says it's 9% less than national average, and Best Places Cost of Living Index is 87.4. It remains one of the most affordable of Montana's larger cities, with the median home price hovering around $330,000 to $400,000. Home income hovering around $64,000. The rent ranges from $1,040 to $1,450. Not totally bad. There are a range of amenities within the city. There is virtually no traffic, and the city is home to a well-run small airport with minimal TSA lines. There's a farmer's market, a beautiful Charles M. Russell Museum, the River's Edge Trail, and numerous other outdoor activities. The river is fun in the summer, and skiing at Showdown in winter. Teton Pass is another fun place to ski as well. It's less cold than living by the Rocky Mountain front. Great Falls does not have high levels of crime in general. Most of the town is fairly safe, but it comes with the standard urban difficulties of visible homelessness and substance problems. Stay away from the downtown area at night on the weekends and Parkdale. Overall, though, Great Falls isn't a bad place to live. It's definitely not one of my favorite MT towns, but it does have some redeeming qualities. It gets a significant amount of hate for no good reason. There are far worse places to live. The town itself is bland and uninspiring, but the fact that it lies with Montana is a huge plus, though. Top of the list is the Montana biggest metropolis, Billings. It sits in the beautiful Yellowstone Valley, nicknamed Montana's Trailhead because of its central location. But it is pretty much that way because it is isolated from most other population centers. Billings is a great place to raise a family. With good schools and nice parks, it is becoming something pretty nice. If you're in your early 20s looking for a social scene, not the best. But then again, Great Falls wouldn't be either. It's not touristy like Missoula, and it's got a real economy, unlike Bozeman. It's got city-type stuff. The economy is the strongest and the most composed one. It's a very industrial city. But there are a lot of nice little places to go out to at night and meet others. The city is also becoming less congested in comparison to most real cities, and it is safe. The downtown has eateries, art galleries, and the like. This is also the center for theaters and breweries. Billings distinguishes itself with a strong economy and low housing costs. Based on the Economic Research Institute, cost of living is 4% less expensive than the national average, and Rent Cafe says cost of living is 18% lower than the state average. According to Best Places, the cost of living index is 94.6. The strong household income of $72,000 allows most families to own a home priced around $400,000 range. Living in one-bedroom apartment will cost you less than $1,280, but it's missing the incredible mountain views that the rest of Montana has and feels more like a city on the plains that is affected by sprawl. From the highway, the Billings is often described as atrocious and dirty looking, to put it mildly. also has a few urban problems as well, like homelessness, although to a lesser degree than the large West Coast cities. Which of these towns offers the best balance of affordability and authentic Montana living? Let me know your top pick and why in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.